Hello, I'm FX Toycat, and the first thing that Victorillo377 is going to do when 1.18 drops is wait for the 1.19 snapshot. And this seems like a very impatient comment, but 982 people agree with him, and I've had a whole barrage of comments asking when I think the 1.19 snapshots will come, and usually at this time it would be super premature to answer that, but surprisingly enough, we do actually have a solid answer to when we're next going to be seeing 1.19, and allow me to explain, because Alexander Torstling, one of the Minecraft gameplay developers, has been working on the Warden with King Bee dogs, he confirmed as of just a week ago, and that means that they are already trying to get that into the prototype stages as soon as possible. And usually we'd anticipate snapshots to start in about 3 months from now, because obviously they've got to focus on 1.18.1, and then they have to have their Christmas break, and then it's January, and then it's really February before things are actually happening. The reason we expect it'll be sooner this year is because Minecraft Now is an event happening next Friday. If you don't know, Minecraft Lives are a big yearly show that they like to do, but they've decided to have a smaller version called Minecraft Now, where it'll be a bunch of developers playing Minecraft and talking and chatting, etc. However, as you can read right here, they have a very interesting quote that the show will feature live gameplay and snapshot sneak peeks. And obviously, this is something that might not necessarily apply to the first show, but given that this was the announcement of that first show on December 9th, they didn't announce any other ones, it would be very weird if that first one didn't include some live gameplay and some snapshot sneak peeks, in my opinion. Obviously, this is just a sneak peek of a snapshot. I wouldn't expect to be playing it until January sometime. However, the fact that they're already jumping straight into 1.19 is a very good piece of news for Minecraft development. By the way, we do have some exciting news about what's going to be in 1.19, but I wanted to quickly answer KMB's important question, which is, what is your favorite feature in Minecraft 1.18? What is your least favorite feature, and how would you make your least favorite feature better? And honestly, my favorite feature is the new world generation. I love going into the new caves. The novelty is still not worn off of me, and it's been most of a week now, plus all the months of pre-releases, which is something very cool to say. Most Minecraft features that are terrain-based, you look at it once and then you're kind of done with it forever, and I feel that way about the frozen peaks. I mean, I still don't really know what I'm meant to be doing up there. However, when it comes to the stony peaks, when it comes to the new caves, I'm still loving those even now. However, my least favorite feature definitely has to come from the fact that this was the cave update the community asked for, and it's funny because we've now had 2 cave updates, right? We know there's going to be a third, and it still feels like the caves are very neglected. Maybe I just have high standards. Maybe having 1 brand new ore and 2 brand new biomes, and then, you know, admittedly, a lot of new cave variation just is not enough for me, and I'm being crazy. But I really would have wished we'd have seen something to do with nether caves, and, you know, end caves don't even exist yet. Would have been cool to see something going on there. Would have been cool if the overworld had more cave biomes worth exploring for. Right now, there's 2 of them, and you can find them both pretty easily, and so caving is more about finding ores, and the ores are still significantly easier obtainable in other ways in most cases, besides the actual physical ore blocks themselves. But, you know, I feel like they could have done some work with the balance of all of that to make caving more interesting. But again, I feel like if you're a new Minecraft player, you're gonna love this update, and that is a big thing they're going for that I think they might have missed in previous updates. Speaking of updates, by the way, Krypton89 wants to know why I bought a $49 US bathtub, and in case you're curious, I really did purchase this thing. I used to have a fishbowl that I drank out of, and just, I don't know why, I liked confusing people who are new to the stream and who were always confused that there was a fishbowl being used as a drinking implement, but it is a really fun common thing, so I was like, you know what I've seen a bathtub be used as a drinking implement, but the only ones that I could find that were meant for like drinking out of were like 300 milliliters, and that's just not big enough. So I went on with my day until someone linked me a bathtub on Amazon.com, the American site, and obviously this was a $20 US bathtub meant for dolls, and it seemed pretty expensive, but you know what, chat convinced me I should buy it. But here's the thing, and here's why I guess living as a European is so sad and expensive. $20 US worth of bathtub comes with $16 worth of shipping to get it over here. It was actually $22 shipping to get it next week, so $22 in shipping, and then also every single purchase you make, with very few exemptions, has a value added tax added on top in Europe. In the UK, this is 20%, which is actually surprisingly low for most of the continent, and this means that you add a whole extra $8 something on there, and so the total was $49 and some number of cents. I don't even want to imagine how much that costs compared to what it should be, and you know what's even worse than that? Because it's meant for dolls, it's actually not safe to drink out of, and so I spent $49 on something that might poison me with lead. But you know what? How's your Saturday going? Anyway, speaking of your Saturday, Mason Rulen asks on his, so no goat horn, sad face, and you know what? This is the tragic reality. We obviously don't have a goat horn in 1.18, and when they announced the 1.18 release date, they did say that the goat horn alongside archaeology and bundles would be delayed beyond 1.19. However, when 1.18 released on Bedrock, they added a new vanilla vanilla experiments, experimental toggle that you can enable that allows you to get certain blocks and items from the wild update, including the goat horn, and wait, certain blocks and items from the wild update coming in 2022, and then including the goat horn. They didn't include the bundle, they didn't include anything from archaeology, so those things probably are still delayed, but it sounds like from this that they are in fact including the goat horn as a wild update feature. I even tweeted about this and I figured, you know what, they're going to correct that later, that's going to be fine. It's Matt Gartsky who wrote this article, who is one of the Minecraft community teams, so of course he's going to know that like, oops, people made a mistake, and then they're going to correct the article, and no, even a full week later now, there is still this reference that this is one of those blocks and items coming from the wild update. I mean, technically you could read it as saying some of these blocks and items are from the wild update, that is also a possibility, and you know what, that's why English is a wacky language. I just wanted to point out that the goat horn looks like it might be coming in 1.19 after all, and the reason I'm so sure of that is because again, the goat horn and the warden just make so much sense together. I have no idea how you're gonna have the warden without having the goat horn as the kind of counterbalance, and maybe I'm just crazy, maybe they want to add it later to kind of balance it out once people have gotten used to it, or maybe, just maybe, there's something more to that. Speaking of something more to things, Quinn asks, what is your next big project idea with the new update? Obviously, it goes without saying that I'm going to be extending my sugarcane farm up to the height limit. However, I've been challenged a few times now that I should destroy a new mountain, and that's of course an entirely ludicrous idea, which is why I'm going to be doing precisely that soon. I've got one of two ideas I'm going to implement. Either I'm going to mine an entire mountain biome until we get to a cave biome, and then we can have that cave biome be exposed to the outside world. It would be really cool to have a cave biome be not in a cave, right? And then the second idea is just to take a massive, jagged peaks that goes up to 256 blocks, and then to deliberately carve a giant pass through the middle of it, just mine out a chunk of it effectively. I'm not sure which of those I'll go with. Obviously, this is one of those things we're going to be doing over the course of Streamless, where I'm streaming every day, but that's enough promo for my live streams. If you know about them, you know about them, and if you don't know about them, maybe you're interested more in the next question, which comes in from Ethan, all caps, and they say, what's your favorite thing, caves or cliffs? Obviously, we just had our second caves and cliffs update, and so the obvious question is, well, which do you prefer? And even though they put a ton more effort into the cliffs, in my opinion, and they really are stunning cliffs, we can never downplay just how amazing they look. I think they knocked it out of the park in terms of making them look amazing, but honestly, in terms of great reasons to go to the cliffs, obviously I know that it's a better way to find emerald ore, and to find coal ore, and to find iron, but you can farm all three of those things in other ways, so it's like, okay, well, you could go there for the calcite, and the calcite is a really cool feature of the stony peaks, but most of the new cliffs, it's like, yeah, I'm not really sure who this is for or why. Again, like the frozen peaks is my favorite example of just a biome that looks great, but you can get the same blocks everywhere else and a lot easier. But like, what is the long run reason to go to them? I think it's kind of like the bamboo forest, where it's a cool looking biome, but the overall gameplay value is just, here is one feature, but then even kind of dialed down a little bit. I think, having the goats there, and once we have the goat horn, that'll be maybe a bit more useful. I think having, the super high terrain to jump off for an Elytra maybe has some great uses, but I think, at least if they were to have a world where Elytra wasn't based on time, like they were planning on doing, I think there are lots of great things that could make the cliffs more worthwhile for everyone, but right now, it's the caves that are fun, that you want to dive into, that are really exploratory, in my opinion, but obviously that's my controversial opinion. Another controversial opinion I have comes in from Oi, am I crazy, or did a lot of these seeds have 420 and 69 in them? It was a funny thing that Cracked Magnet, who found both those seeds, he wanted to make sure that when we were generating seeds that had all of the new biomes, that they specifically had 420 and 69 in them somewhere, so both of those seeds obviously did. That is more reason to watch that video, which, side note, I think is like one of the worst feed videos from this last week. It served as like an important reminder that like, yeah, old style seed videos aren't going to work the same as one where we either take like a top 5, top 10 list of a certain, like category, or where we have like the fun narrative based thing. So yeah, it's just like a fun reminder, like this week has been really good for learning what succeeds and doesn't, because it's been so much more drastic because of the new update. By the way, you don't care about that. What you might care about though is this next question from Emma, Curly Fries 307. Can I tweet you a seed for Seed Sunday? It's for Bedrock and I haven't explored much, but then they say some things they like. If you want to send a seed in, send it to toycatassistant@gmail.com. Please do so. Yeah, obviously that's an email address. Please send some pictures alongside it, because if you just say it's a cool seed, then I'm not sure when I'll be able to look at it. But I love seeing the weird things that people have found. Sometimes they are truly unique and incredible. Sometimes they're just, okay, this happens, but it's still interesting. I would love to see your seeds. Send emails with anything you want to toycatassistant@gmail.com. And although I can't guarantee a response right now, I can guarantee I'll at least look at them. That is a terrible thing to say on the internet. Speaking of terrible things to say on the internet, Brian asks how I feel about snapshots/betas. In what ways do you think having access to that stuff can be positive or detrimental to the community? And I've long said that I think the important thing about snapshots is that Minecraft is amazing in that they give us the best access to development versions of the game, of any game out there. It's amazing. However, too many people start to see it as this is a guaranteed feature. Too many people say, oh, I'm really mad because they renamed this feature that they just had a placeholder name for. If you don't know, Deep Slate used to be called Grimstone. People got mad in a way that encourages developers to share less. No, they should be trying things all the time that of course won't work out. Anyone who downloads a snapshot or beta should know that not everything they try there will make it to the end. And of course, I, for instance, would prefer they bring back the firework changes for leechers. I would prefer they bring back all sorts of different things. I don't think you can expect that. I think that the snapshots that we get, the weekly update into what's going on, is actually one of the best opportunities we as a community have to basically kind of like alter the trajectory of the game, and honestly to do a bit in making sure it goes well. If you're really whiny about it and you act like you're gonna, you know, like you sell your Minecraft and never play it again because of one dumb change you don't like, that encourages everyone to be like, oh, wish we hadn't shared that. Whereas if you say, yeah, I really liked this, I really like this, this thing feels like it could be better if we do this, you know, constructive feedback. I feel like if more people are like that and there are more specific great places for it, then I think the whole process might be better. In fact, I've been thinking for the 1.19 snapshots, rather than you know, doing the whole thing that most YouTubers do, like here are the features, this is what they look like. I think I definitely want to take more of an angle of like, okay, this is good, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is good, and actually explain how I think it's going to change Minecraft if it is implemented, because it can be super confusing to watch snapshots and be like, oh, this is the finished thing, and then realizing when the update comes out it's different. But that's some of the fun, in my opinion. Speaking of some of the fun, the last question here comes in from Mercedes, or Diet Battery Acid. Very fun name, by the way. Do you have any questions to ask yourself for Q&A Saturday? You know what? Everyone's always asking me questions, but no one's ever asking, how are you doing? I'm just lying. A lot of people did ask, how are you doing? But that's not a very good question either. Although I'm doing great, thank you for asking. It's been a month since I was injured, but I'm still, like, not fully healed up from my e-scooter injury, which is dumb. I've only ridden it for 2 minutes in the last solid year, and somehow still got injured. I'm feeling semi-optimistic about the Minecraft Now concept. I'm curious to see what they do with that, and I'm also super curious just to see in general what the plan is with 1.19. But yeah, this is Streamless. This is I'm streaming every day, so my biggest way I'm feeling is you know, like looking forward to the next stream, which you can watch tonight. I think it'll be slightly later because it's my friend's birthday, so I'm doing an escape room. I'll let you know if I ever get out of the room. If there's no stream, just assume that I didn't. And so yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting in some way, because I'll see you all in the next one, you gays. There we go. Are you allowed to just call the YouTube subscribers gay? You know what? I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to see what happens. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a very good one, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye.